What's up, friends and family, saints and ain'ts? How are you? Happy Thursday, the last Thursday in October. Boom, boom, boom. These months are just going by. And I'm Shannon. I like to call this Radiant Rap, where we talk about all things that are radiant, those things that are, I believe, necessary, and a lot of people would agree with me. A lot of people that are a whole lot smarter than me would agree with me. The things that are necessary to be healthy and whole, which are rest, activity awareness, diet, introspection, which I put in there, prayer and meditation, agua, your water, note taking, journaling, writing things down, and training. Last week, I was really sad about the topic, the conversation, but I felt that we needed to talk about it. Or it was on my heart to talk about. And it basically was about the life expectancy of this generation not being as long as like the baby boomer, our generation. And interestingly, I was speaking with someone and I got the impression that maybe I didn't communicate what I wanted to say appropriately. Now, maybe I did, maybe I didn't. If you're listening or you see this in the replay, you can tell me what you thought about it. But I just wanted to go over that little piece of from last week. I was not sharing that to emphasize young people or somehow the responsibility of that generation being worse than our generation. I was really specifically talking about each and every one of us, whoever is listening. So, um, doing our part, being the example for the younger person if you are not younger, and also so for every individual person. And as I was preparing this, what I wanted to say tonight about beyond genetics, I was thinking about earlier this week. I was in a morning devotion class that we do 5 days a week, and we were studying. Um, not to and we study the Bible basically, and I mean we dissect it. We've been in one book all year, and so anyways, we were in this chapter of Luke 11 to be exact. And to make a long story short, we were having a conversation about um, the religious leaders and uh, them being and dissecting what it was that something that Jesus had done, and they pointed out. And so um, I said to the teacher, as an example of what occurred to me, that when I was younger, I felt uh, judged by different people and that were older than me, that are the age, basically women that are the age that I am now, and that I had made a promise to not be that way. So I was giving an example of that, and the teacher um, said, yeah, she, acknowledged that she understood what I said. A couple other people made comments, and before she closed out, it's just a 30-minute session. It's great if you ever want more information about how to connect. It's just a phone call in the morning. It's great. But anyway, she says she was concerned. I could hear the concern in her voice. I don't know if you all are getting this, she says. She says, I don't want us to look at this lesson and focus on anyone else except us. And it hit me like, boom, hit me. I'm like, oh, I'm supposed to be thinking about my behavior, my actions, not listening to the lesson and thinking about someone else. And that's the same way I want to deliver the message about wellness. So when you're listening to the Radiant Wrap conversation, I would love for for your focus to be on what it is that you can do, and my focus to be on what it is that I can do um, to be healthier and whole, right? Because trying to beat it down somebody else's throat is not going to be an answer. We have to be humble in our delivery, and we have to do the thing. So if we're just telling young people, you need to, that's not going to be received. But if we're being conscious about being healthier, then that is something that can be received better, I believe. So, Beyond Genetics tonight is not only talking about beyond genetics, that's something that we can't control. We don't have any control over genetics. We don't have any control over how old we are. We don't have any control over yesterday. We don't have any control of the past, right? Those are uncontrollable things. But they're not an excuse for what we can do. Genetics alone do not determine your destiny. You are predisposed through genetics. You can be predisposed to a particular disease condition, but it doesn't, you have those genes in your body, but it doesn't mean that those genes are going to be expressed. The expression of those genes, and this is a whole science called epigenetics. It's so cool, epigenetics. The expression of the genes is your behavior and your environment. Okay, so it leaves, we can't control genetics, we can't control age, we can't control the past, but we can start with today and do what we can. These are the things that, with God's help, okay, we have a say in our behavior. Our behavior can influence heart disease. It can influence blood pressure, right? Our physical activity can influence our health. Our attitude, whether we're isolated or we are communal, can influence our health. Our, and who our community is can influence our health. Whether we smoke can influence our health. Whether we drink alcohol can influence our health, and how, what the quantities are, right? How we rest. So can influence our health. And those activities can influence heart disease and blood pressure and so forth. And so I just wanted to say that tonight, that there are things that we cannot control, and then there are things that we can influence. And I wanted to be a little more specific in a couple of things that I said. I made just some general statements. So with the list that I just said, I just want to say a few things about diet, just a few specific things. So one is water. One is water. You want to ideally have 1/2 of your body weight in ounces of water per day. Now, I know if you're on dialysis, that won't apply to you. I know that there are some people that aren't going to be able to drink that much water in a day, but that ideally is how much water you want to drink. And that has an impact on your blood pressure, on your energy, on your brain health. Okay, so 1/2 of your body weight in water per day. If you weigh 200 pounds, you should have 100 ounces of water a day. This right here is this container, which is just a tinted container. There's no coloring in the water in here. It's just water, lemon, and it's in a tinted container. It's 64 ounces of water. That's not quite half my body weight. So I try to finish this, and the water that you get from fruits and vegetables count as well. But I try to finish this every day, and I usually will have a 16-ounce shake. So that puts me pretty close to half my body weight in ounces of water a day. So you want to do that. And then I also mentioned last week vegetables that I eat 10 to 12 servings of vegetables a day. And someone asked about that. And so I just wanted to make sure that I was clear about what 10 to 12 servings of fruits and vegetable, or what one serving of fruit or vegetable is. So if a vegetable is raw, a serving is a cup, 1 cup. Usually, like if you wanted to rough it, a fist. Like if it's a whole fruit, it's a fist. A cup. If it's cooked, 1/2 of a cup. If it's cooked, is a serving. So yeah, it's not hard for me to do 10 to 12 servings. And I like to have more than that. I just don't always do it. So I just, wanted to make sure that I mentioned that. And if you have other questions that you want me to share some information or insight on, or you have ideas of topics, I'd love for you to share. One other question that I had was, does sugar have an impact on your immune system? Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. So the more sugar that you intake, the more it decreases your immune system. And see, this is the one thing that a lot of people, I think, don't realize, is that I'm getting bit out here, that your immune system is, or sugar is not just candy. It's not just what's in the soda. When you have carbohydrates, and you like the simple ones, white floured ones, pasta, breads, that turns to sugar in your body. And so, yes, that decreases your immune system. So I want to share today. I love you. You have greatness inside of you. I believe in you. There are things that we can't control, have no control over. And, God has given us this body, and there are things that we can control. And then we have to stand and let God take care of the rest. I mean, there's only so much. But what we cannot control, genetics, age, or the past. There's a lot of things, though, that we can control. So I encourage you. You have greatness inside of you. I believe in you. Let's do better with water and with servings of fruits and vegetables. If you want some help from me in those areas, reach out to me. I'm around. Love you. Nothing you can do about it. Bye.